I want you to picture a cold December morning, school's just been cancelled, and you're booting up Modern Warfare 2 with all your friends, ready to waste a day away laughing, trash talking and chasing nukes. No stress, no annoying in-game challenges, just fun. There was a time when playing games wasn't just about kills, wins or graphics, it was about escaping, connecting and feeling something real, and I really missed that. The first thing I want to talk about is how games back then didn't try to be everything. They picked one thing and they perfected it. Now games don't even know what they want to be because they're too busy trying to be everything. A few examples are Call of Duty trying to be the classic arcade shooter still, but also trying to be overly competitive and having a battle royale game on top of all of that. And then on the flip side you've got Fortnite, who've always been fairly competitive, but they've also just released their own FPS game mode. It just feels like games nowadays have no identity like they used to, and I think that's because they're more interested in trying to cover as much ground as possible rather than perfecting one thing. I truly believe that battle passes and live service grinds have killed gaming, and it's not just in Call of Duty. Every game tries its hand at this now and it ruins the experience. When we boot up, we can't help but go for the next challenge to unlock the next thing, because there's so much FOMO built up around this. It's tiresome and I'm quite sick of it, to be honest. I think Call of Duty hit the sweet spot with DLC when it was just camos and maps, to be honest. That was enough for me. I'd rather pay for new maps than pay for a battle pass to get some stupid skins that I'm not even going to see in a first person shooter game. I think the next thing mainly applies to COD, but I can't go without saying it, and it's about how poor the stories have been lately. Call of Duty was a franchise built off of its gripping campaigns. I remember talking to my mates who didn't have Modern Warfare 2 about how cool the mission "The Only Easy Day Was Yesterday" was. You don't get stuff like this anymore. It's all low effort, and guess why? It's because it makes them the least money. It just felt like in these older games you were part of something bigger. Now I've already touched on live service structures, but I just want to delve deeper real quick. I just think that so many games feel like checklists made by marketing teams. Rather than thoughtful challenges, it seems all challenges are just made to keep player attention up rather than being well thought through and engaging. It's just become a boring grind now rather than something you actually want to get on and do. My whole point being is that games used to be more than content machines. They used to have soul and character, and that's been lost over the years, not just in Call of Duty, but in nearly everything. Now in that last bit I did speak about how COD's become way more competitive over the years with its skill-based matchmaking. I wanted to talk here about how it never used to be about the competition in the old days, it was just about connection. It was about playing with friends after school or on weekends, doing all-nighters. It wasn't about ranking up your battle pass, it was about the laughter, inside jokes, those 3 AM party chats where you just run around on the game mindlessly. Games used to feel like a place to be, not just a place to perform. It used to be a place where you could wind down after a stressful day of work or school, and now they've become like work or school. The metas you've got to learn and keep up to date with, and the boring repetitive tasks make it feel like a job. Even in the lobbies, people actually talked, friends were made and rivalries were created. Now you're lucky to see one mic plugged in. I think back then too we didn't overanalyze everything. There were no TikToks, no patch note breakdowns or tier lists. Just you, the game and raw curiosity, learning as you go by word of mouth in school. We didn't worry about the metas, we just used what we enjoyed and had fun. I remember playing for hours to unlock the heartbeat sensor for the first time, just because I saw a game-winning kill cam of someone using it. Before then, I didn't even know it existed, and it was like the coolest thing ever to me. I guess you just can't find this sort of excitement these days in games, because it's plastered everywhere over the internet. You can't ever just find things out for yourself anymore. And also, it now feels like if you're not optimizing the way you play, you're falling behind or just playing the game wrong in general. I think we prioritize this over having fun, and this damages our experience. Don't get me wrong though, part of it was the time we were in. No bills, no pressure, just freedom to sink hours into a game. Growing up makes you crave that meaning again in life, and games don't always give that. I've actually made a video discussing this, so I'll leave a link on screen now for those interested. Please check it out because it's a good one. I've spoken lightly on this already, but I really want to talk about it more and how it feels like studios aren't building games with heart anymore. Just systems to keep us online. It was so common in the old days to go back and forth from the CODs like 3 years ago to play for months straight, but now CODs instantly die. Not only is this from the live service model, but it's also because none of these games have their own character and soul. Whether it's the menus being the same, the guns or the engine, it's all the same. I know we used to say this, but it's definitely gotten worse to the point where you genuinely can't tell anymore. It's just not worth going back and playing these newer, older games anymore because they have no soul and no reason to go back and play them. They just feel like the same boring, dry game as the latest one does. I think there's still hope though if you know where to look. Indie titles and single player games and old classics that still carry soul are definitely great alternatives. I play a lot of single player games such as The Last of Us and have a great time doing so there's definitely still hope out there. I think maybe it's not about chasing the next big thing, and maybe it's just about revisiting what actually made us feel something. And that's exactly what I've been doing recently by playing Modern Warfare 2. I think it's not just nostalgia, it's a reminder that games that were once more than distractions, they were literally our worlds with our friends. And maybe we need to stop waiting for the next hype drop and just start searching for games that mean something again, rather than just falling into that COD cycle year on year out. If you guys did enjoy this video and took away something from it, let me know down below in the comments and by hitting that like button. And if you liked my content, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more of my videos. With that being said guys, it's been Jxey, stay awesome.